One of the more intriguing prospects that came up in quite some time was Lynn Bowden, who was one of my guys during this draft class. I was a big fan of him, and I was saying, hey, go ahead and draft him. I like the players who can do a lot of versatile things. The Raiders drafted him as a running back, which surprised me. And then what surprised me even more was they traded him before he had even played a game to the Miami Dolphins. So a lot of interesting stuff here. But I wanted to make a video, talk about what he can do well, because I think that we're going to see potentially more of him this year. And I think that he can be a valuable asset, at least as someone who can play. Maybe not like a true number one receiver or anything, but he's really unique. And I want to talk about what that uniqueness brings to Miami. So you have something like this, where what's going to happen on this play is that it's going to be zone coverage. It's a cover 3 zone. And the way this play works is you're going to have your, the only receiver who's to the offense's left. He runs deep, kind of stretches out the zone coverage a little. You then have Bowden run underneath. He's going to run, try and pick up some yards. And he's coming all the way over from the other side of the field. And this is kind of what makes him so effective, because he's someone who can run with the football. He's someone who can, pass catch. He can also throw the football. So again, we'll get into all of that in a second. But having a guy like this, when he runs over, you don't know. Maybe he's going to take a handoff. Maybe he's going to be a pass catcher. It's just that element of surprise. And as you see, he's able to run forward, and he is going to be able to get open and pick up a good amount of yards. It's nothing crazy, but it's something that he is capable of doing. And when you have a receiving room right now that's pretty full, you have Will Fuller, you have Devontae Parker, you obviously just went out and drafted Jalen Waddle. So him as the 4th receiver who can kind of do the more unique stuff, it could make him more valuable. And watch this route right there. You're going to see his footwork is going to be awesome on this one. So it's man coverage, and in fairness, it looks like there is going to be kind of a bit of a miscommunication for Kansas City, where they're going to try to pull off a switch, and it seems like both guys get confused. But regardless, just watch Bowden. Right when this play starts, you're going to see that Bowden, as of here, and also I say Bowden, some people call it Bowden. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. I've always said Bowden. I said that back when he was in Kentucky. I'm not sure if that was the incorrect pronunciation, but if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. I know you will. You don't need my permission for that, obviously. But regardless, watch what he's about to do right here. As you see, he breaks in, is able to get wide open, and then moves again and is able to make a move on a guy. He does eventually fall down, so again, showing his great footwork. He ends up tripping on this play, so not the best ending to it, but a really good play of just, getting open and making a move on a guy, and then eventually trying to make one move. Usually when people fall down, that's a cleats issue or a turf issue more so than the player issue, which is why I bring it up. Although not always, admittedly, so fair, but I think that's a really good play. And then there's something like this, which this play really surprised me, because basically my thought on Bowden, and we will get into this in a second, is that I just was hopeful that he would be good enough that you could get him on the field, get him some snaps, and then you could do what he can, run trick plays with him, because I think the trick plays that you can run with him could be explosive 20 plus, 30 plus yard plays, and you could get maybe one of those a game perhaps, or at least one of those every other game, or maybe 5 a season. But that's still a huge impact. But on this play, it's zone coverage. He's running sort of in that middle area. But watch what happens here. So Tua's going to take the snap right here. You see that Tua's going to make this throw, but watch Bowden go up and get it and make a tough catch. And that's something that surprises me, because I wasn't sure about his ability to make those tough catches. I felt pretty confident he would find ways to get open, at least with some consistency. But him being able to make a tough catch, I wasn't so sure about. And so again, now that you have him, they have a full receiving room, right? So he's their wide receiver 4. To me, that's a really scary prospect. Tua has a ton of weapons to throw to now. So now let's talk about some of that versatility, because that's a big thing that he's bringing to the table is versatility. As I said, he got drafted as a running back. On this play, he's actually in the game as a running back, and he's going to take a handoff as a running back. So again, something like this is interesting to me. As busy as their wide receiving room is, as I've said, although should be mentioned, like a guy like Will Fuller, has never stayed healthy. So having some depth there will matter probably. Chances are it's football. Everyone gets hurt. So being the wide receiver 4 means you'll probably get some playing time. But also he can get on the field just being a running back at times as well. Watch how right when this play starts, this is going to be so fun. So watch how he starts to run just as you would expect, he probably should just keep running forward. It seems like there's a decent yards he can gain right here. Could probably get the first down on this play. He's going to do something a bit more unique here. Watch him bounce to the outside, and he's going to actually pick up way more yards on this play than he would have had he just ran forward, which, again, I'm not saying I think that that's what he should have done. In fact, he probably should not be doing stuff like that, but at the same time, it's impressive, right? So, again, maybe you coach that out of him, say, dude, I know you're electric, just run forward, take a hit, get some yards when you're running back. But at the same time, I mean, that's an impressive play. He was able to do that, so maybe you don't coach it out of him. Maybe you say, hey, most guys can't do that, but he's more electric running with the football, so you go ahead, do your thing, get more yards. And so then we got to talk about this play, because this is really what it all comes down to, right? All of those plays, fine, sure, great, fantastic. One of the interesting things about something like Bowden is that, okay, sure, he's a guy who he can run with the football and he can pass catch. So that just kind of saves you a roster spot. If he's your wide receiver 4 and your running back 3, that does help you out a little bit, just because it saves your roster spot. But also, he's someone who can throw the football. His last season in Kentucky, he was a quarterback, and I even said I would draft him as a quarterback because I think that that's his best asset, is the fact that he can do all this other stuff but then still play quarterback. To me, he was like, this is a Taysom Hill type figure, and like a really good one, I think. So on this play, you're going to see that he's going to step back, take the catch, and then you have a player run over the middle like that. You could maybe look that way, but it seems like this play is designed for something else. Because after an initial play action, the back is going to run up to the top of the screen, along with several offensive linemen also running up in that direction as well, and Bowden is going to instead throw it back there. And so watch how right when this play starts, you see that Bowden is able to make the catch. He looks around, and he is going to make this throw, and they're going to pick up a ton of yards on this play. They pick up 30-plus yards on this play. And again, that's why I love trick plays, because you can get those explosives. And this is something you can work into your offense. And I wonder, because again, he got traded. They didn't make him a part of their plans until later on in the season. Part of me does wonder with Bowden, with a full preseason and things like that, would they be more willing to kind of have him be their Taysom Hill type? Would they be more willing to have him, come in, play wide receiver for a couple snaps, or even better yet, come in as a halfback. So now you have 3 receivers and a halfback. Then he goes out wide. You can have 4 receivers all try to get open. And then you can even send Tua out wide. You bring back, Bowden. And now all of a sudden, the defense is in a situation where they were preparing for 4 receivers. And now they're stuck in a situation where they basically have to find someone who can help try and stop the run. It can just create so many fun mismatches. And it's just interesting to me. And again, he's now basically taking up 3 roster spots of a wide receiver 4, a running back, and a quarterback 3. He can be your 3rd-string quarterback if you need him to be. So there's a lot of value that I can find with Bowden. I think he's really interesting, and I hope that he gets more playing time because he's fun to watch. He's electric when he has the ball in his hands. I still don't really know why the Raiders got rid of him so quickly. That was kind of a surprise for me, but again, they were kind of a weird fit anyways. Miami, who seems to be more willing to try things and be unique, especially on their defense, especially the way that they sort of will blitz and, do all these wild stuff. But even on offense, they'll get creative, and it's kind of a perfect blend for me with a guy like Bowden. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to next season. They have a ton of weapons now, and I'll be interested to see how they use them. I mean, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.